Hello everyone, welcome to CivilPrep. I am Krishna Gupta and this is a prelims prep initiative. Okay, an initiative which covers PYQ, which are rooted in the certain keywords which can be traced in the previous year questions. So here we'll be using a question trail from 2011 to 2025 for UPSC Civil Services examination. Here we'll be looking at the questions or topics and subjects for geography, environment and ecology, and science and technology. I am Krishna Gupta, and we have a website civilprep.in. For further details, enquiries, or any doubts, you can call at 8700523510, or you can also WhatsApp at this number for any queries. Basically, what we do here, if there is a question which have came in 2025, and that question, it have also certain roots in 2022, and another keyword have another root in 2015. So in this way, we can trace these roots and we can see that what kind of question with the keyword and a twist can come in the year of 2026. So this is where we are working. This is where we are analyzing, trying to bring the future questions and the twists and turns, looking at the past questions and making them more approachable. So guys, this is prelims prep program for the aspirants who are struggling in prelims exam for UPSC. I would like to announce here that this program for geography, environment and science and technology, it will be completed by the end of December 31st, 2025. And from January, we'll be starting with the subjects like history, polity, economy, then international relations, and current affairs also. So this will be starting from January and they will be also covered by March. So this is a holistic program which is also covering the various tests. For each subjects, there will be almost 4 tests where you can use those tests which will be based on all the PYQs, okay? And the questions and queries which are also described in the PYQs. It will be like very beneficial for the aspirants here. Now, looking at certain questions in this part, starting here, the civil prep. This is transforming potentials into possibilities. That is aspirants into civil servants. Before that, I would like you to join my YouTube channel by scanning this QR code. Also join my Telegram group for daily activities, for the various doubts, queries, or for any updates. You can scan this QR code and join my Telegram group. Now, first question we'll be looking at from the topic of geography. So here we see that this question have its roots in 2024. So the main keyword here it is isotherm. Looking at the question here, consider the following statements. Statement 1. In January, in the northern hemisphere, the isotherms bend equatorward while crossing the landmass and poleward while crossing the oceans. So condition we will see here that this is a continent and this is present in northern hemisphere. So according to this, it is said that the isotherms bend equatorward while crossing the landmass. While crossing the landmass, it is bending equatorward, and while crossing the oceans, it is moving polewards. So this is the trend which is, or this is the isotherm which is being specified here. Now, it is said that isotherms are the line which is joining the same temperature over the Earth's surface. So if we look at this point, during the January, the oceans they are comparatively warm, while the continents they are comparatively cool. And we will see that the oceans are warm, so they will be present near more towards the equator. And sorry, uh, they will be present more towards the poleward. While when the continents are cool, they will be present more towards the equator. So this is the trend which is seen over the world. We can also look at this with the help of a diagram. First, we'll be looking at the statement 2. In January, the air over the oceans is warmer than over the landmass in the northern hemisphere. This statement is 100% correct, and this is also explaining the statement 1 here. So we can see that over the continents, the isotherm is moving towards the equator world. While when it has crossed the oceans, while crossing the oceans, we see that it is moving towards the pole world. So this is the point which is also asked in the question. And this is happening with the same phenomena that over the oceans, the temperature is quite greater compared to the temperature over the continents. So in this way, we are able to understand that how this particular phenomena is taking place in this region here. Okay, now coming back to the question here, we will see that the answer for this question is both statement 1 and 2 are correct. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct, and statement 2 explains the statement 1. Thus, this is the correct answer for this question. But we will like to have more look at it by the question which is asked in 2024. So here we have the keyword as isotherm, okay, January. Now, looking at the same part here, which of the following is our correct interference or interferences from isothermal maps in the month of January? So here we can use the same map which is provided here below. We'll be looking at it now. First, look at the statement 1. The isotherms deviate to the north over the oceans and to the south over the continents. So this is statement 1. Looking at statement 2, the presence of cold ocean currents, Gulf streams, and North Atlantic drift make the North Atlantic Ocean colder and isotherms bend towards the north. Okay. Now, we need to understand this question in a bit, in a deeper manner. Okay. So here we will see that the question I've specified here. Okay, this is the January month. So here also we can see the same phenomena that the isotherm is bending towards the equator, and here over the ocean the isotherms are bending towards the pole here. But what we see in the Northern America, okay, here we are being specified about the two currents. Okay, one is the Gulf Stream and the second is the North Atlantic drift. So locating these two currents here, we will see that the Gulf Stream is present here. Okay, just give me a second. The Gulf Stream is present here, and this is a warm ocean current. Okay, while the North Atlantic drift, it is also an extension of the Gulf Stream which is present over the European region more. Okay, so thus looking at the question here again, what we see that the presence of the cold ocean currents like Gulf Stream and North Atlantic drift. Now, from the question itself, we can identify that the Gulf Stream and the North Atlantic drift, they are not cold ocean currents, but they are warm ocean currents, which make the North Atlantic Ocean cooler and colder, and the isotherms bend toward the north. The isotherms, they bend toward the north. Why? Because in the poleward part, we see that they are the water is cooler. Okay, but we will see here that the water is comparatively warmer, therefore it is moving more towards the poleward. Okay, here the water, it is comparatively warmer, but they are warm ocean currents. Therefore, statement B or statement 2, it becomes an incorrect statement, and statement 1 is a correct statement here. Therefore, the answer for this question is A1 only. So we can solve such kind of question, we can map such kind of question through the map which we see here. We can just take a note over the map and we can understand it, what is the concept behind it for the implementation and application of concepts for such kind of question. Then only we can have a very good explanation, or we can say that a very good simple explanation and application of concepts and the derivation of answer here. Okay, so this is a question which is discussed from geography. Now let's move to the environment and ecology part here. Okay, so under the environment and ecology, we have a question on biogeochemical cycle, which have its roots in 2014. The question is from 2021. So here the question is about which of the following adds carbon dioxide to the carbon cycle on the planet Earth. So we see that it is asking about carbon dioxide adding to the carbon cycle on the planet Earth. So under the volcanic action, yes, there is carbon dioxide is added, and it is, though it is less than 1%, but yes, it is added. Respiration process by animals, they are taking O2 and they are giving out CO2. So yes, they are also adding carbon dioxide to the carbon cycle. Respiration is a good answer. Photosynthesis will be saying that it is being done by plants. And under this will be saying that plants, they take carbon dioxide and they give out oxygen. What actually is being done here? The carbon dioxide here, it is being converted into starch or glucose, and it is stored in plants. Thus, we see that this is not adding carbon dioxide to the carbon cycle. So therefore, the photosynthesis, this is not a correct answer for this question. While the decay of organic matter, it is actually adding carbon dioxide, because whatever the plants and animals remains are there, it is consisting of any kind of protein molecules. Protein basically gives out nitrogen compound. But apart from it, if there are any kind of fats, if there is any kind of fats or other molecules, so they give out carbon dioxide. So in this way, what we see that the correct answer for this question is 1, 2, and 4. So 1, 2, and 4. Option C is the correct answer for this question here. Looking at the 2021 question here, in the case of which of the following biogeochemical cycles, the weathering of rocks, this is an important keyword, okay? Both of the questions, they are from biogeochemical cycle. Is the but main source of release of nutrients to enter the cycle. Here we'll be saying that the weathering of rocks is the main source of release of nutrients to the enter the cycle here. So first is carbon dioxide, second is nitrogen cycle, third is phosphorus cycle, and fourth is sulfur cycle. Carbon dioxide, we will see that this is, as we have seen in the previous question, here it is being directly added to the atmosphere. It is being directly added to the atmosphere, or it is added when all these processes are taking place. So carbon cycle is not getting out in the form of the rock weathering. Okay, we can get it out of coal, we can get it out of petroleum, but not of weathering of rocks. While the nitrogen cycle will see that it is coming out from amino acids, okay, or we can see that it is coming out of the roots, it is coming out of plants, animals, but not by the weathering of rock. This is also not a correct answer here. Phosphorus is one of the minerals which is deposited. For example, this is land and this is sea. So phosphorus, we will see that it is coming by the rivers and it is deposited over the continental shelf and continental slope. So this phosphorus, we will see that when it is coming over the surface, so they are present in the form of the sediments. When these sediments, they undergo the lithification process, they form sedimentary rocks. Okay, these sedimentary rocks, they consist of phosphorus inside it. Okay, so we see that phosphorus is one of the important mineral which is also part of the biogeochemical cycle. which is present in the form of rocks. Sulfur cycle, we will see that sulfur is also present inside the rocks. Okay, but we will see that it is coming out majorly when there is any kind of volcanic eruption. Okay, it is coming out in the form of the volcanic eruption. So therefore, sulfur cycle, it is also not present in the form of the weathering of rock over the surface, but it is happening majorly when there is any kind of volcanic eruption from the magma present inside the Earth's, we can say, magma layer. Okay, so therefore, phosphorus cycle is the correct answer for this question. We can link this carbon cycle here, and we can analyze these two questions and we can solve this question very easily. Now, moving to the next question, that is the fuel cell. This question is from Science and Technology. The first question we will see, that is 2025. Then we'll look at 2024. Then we'll look at 2024 again, then 2015. Now, there is one linkage here, that is the fuel cell. Now, let's look at the question. Full battery electric vehicles, hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, fuel cell electric hybrid vehicles. Now, how many of the above are considered as alternative powertrain vehicles? Now, alternative powertrain vehicles are the vehicles which have, for example, these vehicles, they have CNG system. They will also consist of certain batteries, or they will consist of any kind of fuel cell, which will be alternative source of energy to this powertrain, to this vehicle. Powertrain is basically this, we can say that it is the system over which, or it is the chassis of that particular car. Okay, so we see that this powertrain vehicle, full battery vehicles, they also have this kind of alternative powertrain. Hydrogen fuel cell, they also have this, and fuel cell electric hybrid vehicle, they also have this. So this is all the three is the correct answer for this question. Now, moving to the 2024 question, which also have the fuel cell in the one of the part here. Now, consider the following statements: battery storage, biomass generators, fuel cell, rooftop solar photovoltaic cell units. How many of the above are considered distributed energy resources? Now, distributed energy resources in 2023 and 2024, it was in news. Why? Because United States of America, it has installed certain distributed energy sources according to its requirement, and these distributed energy sources, they can be movable, they can be placed in a region which is off grid, and they should have a capacity which should be less than 10 megawatts. So majorly we see that the nuclear reactors were placed by the USA for the fulfillment of the electricity requirement. But apart from the nuclear reactors, yes, the battery storage, lithium, it can be cobalt, it can be acid cells. Biomass generators, for example, in India, the distributed energy sources, they are placed near the region where there is sugarcane production. There is bagasse. So this bagasse, it is burnt to form biomass. Actually, this bagasse is used to form the biomass, and this biomass, it is used for the biomass generators. The fuel cells, yes, it is also one of the part here. For example, hydrogen fuel cell, it is the upcoming fuel cell used for the development of electricity or energy. Rooftop solar photovoltaic cell, yes, up to 10 megawatts, it is being used for the development of the energy. So we see here that D, all four is the answer for this question here. Now, moving to the next question for 2024 only. Which of the following is the exhaust pipe emission from fuel cell vehicles powered by hydrogen? Now, hydrogen powered fuel cell, they intake H2, and they they react with oxygen in the air, and they give out twice H2O, twice. This is 0. Okay. So twice H2O, which is in the form of water vapor. So we can see that from this reaction that how water vapor is being developed here. So this is a simple chemical reaction which we can calculate or which we can come out to by just doing it here. So this is D, water vapor is the correct answer for this question. Now, interlinking this fuel cells to 2015 again. Okay, we can find its route to the 2015. So here with reference to the fuel cells in which hydrogen-rich fuel and oxygen, okay, we can see that this 2024 question, it is a main link for this 2015 question. Are used to generate electricity, consider the following statements. Statement 1, if pure hydrogen is used as fuel, the fuel cell emits heat and water as a byproduct. See, we can directly find this answer to this question here, that is 2024. Next statement, fuel cells can be used for powering buildings and not for small devices like laptops and computers. Now, this was something which got amazed in 2015. In 2003, there was a company which is called as NEC and Toshiba. So this NEC and Toshiba, they developed this fuel cell, which was basically based on methanol. Okay, and this methanol, it was placed in the form of fuel cell or battery inside the laptop, which was able to provide power for 4 to 5 hours. For 4 to 5 hours continuously, and it can be recharged or it can be replaced and recharged again. So this was something which was done in 2003, and the researches were done in 2015, 14 and 15. Thus this question was asked here. Therefore, this statement becomes wrong here. Fuel cells produce electricity in the form of alternating current. No, fuel cells produce electricity in the form of direct current. In the form of direct current. Basically, what happens here? There is a positive, that is anode, and there is a negative, that is cathode. So there is a continuous supply of positive and there is continuous supply of negative to these both points. So because of these conditions, it becomes a direct current. Therefore, this statement 3, it also becomes an incorrect statement. It is specifying us for correct statement only. So it is A1 only is the correct answer for this question. So we can see that how the fuel cell can be traced in 2025, 2024 and 2015, and how we can very easily come to the answers or conclusion by this simple process of interlinking and analysis of the previous question. So guys, stay tuned. We will be coming with the more questions. We'll be discussing more questions with respect to geography, environment, and ecology, and science and technology. Do subscribe to the channel. Do join my Telegram group for interaction and activities. And yes, for any inquiries, you can call to me at 8700523510, or you can visit my website civilprep.in here. So guys, this is Krishna Gupta. I'm uh, I'm I'll just meet you in the next session and we'll discuss the future strategies. Okay, so all the best and take care.